called The Pursuit of Perfectionism. Is there such thing as a perfect body? What does that perfect body look like? I'm going to share this dialogue that I pulled out of research in this lesson. I'm not perfect, and frankly, I couldn't describe it. I couldn't describe perfect if my life depended on it, but that's not the point. I know this much. I should be thinner. I should be taller. I should be more fair. I should be less round. I should eat less. I should exercise more. I should wake up earlier. I should work harder. I should do more yoga. I should wake up, or I should take up running. I should. You end up shoulding all over yourself. Why are so many of you spending an incredible amount of your time, your energy, and your self-esteem trying to be everything to everyone? Mistake-free, flawless, perfect. Why? The reality is, as you know, perfection is unattainable. This is not about a quest for the best, and it's actually pursuit of the worst in ourselves. It is the part of you that is telling you in your head, you can do better. Is that all you've got? Nothing you do will be good enough. Consequences come with that. Very heavy consequences come with that. Psychology Today says perfectionism is the ultimate self-destructive behavior. It turns you into a slave of success because it keeps you focused on failure. This is what has been holding you hostage. This is what has been keeping you stuck no matter how many times you try. This is what has been making you feel so heavy and weighed down. How in the world could this have happened? There's a couple reasons, and a lot of my studies and research go right back to Brené Brown. If you guys have an opportunity to read any of her books, or at the very least, look up her TED Talks about this very topic. Daring Greatly, right? Daring Greatly. Rising Strong is her newest. The Gifts of Imperfection, worth reading. And if you're not a reader, get the Audible app. So a couple reasons why this perfectionism has plagued you. Number one, it has been imposed. Number two, it is used as a shield for self-protection. I'm going to connect that right to Brené Brown's popular quote. So what is this? Number one, this illusion, this imposed illusion of excellence. This is all about perception. I am so glad that I'm speaking right to you, because that's the difference maker. And somebody who just spews out stuff and doesn't care if you're connecting or not, I want to make sure I'm connecting with you because this is so important. This is so important. So the illusion of excellence is all about perception. Think about it. These standards, what we are being told is perfect and flawless, have all been imposed on us from outside sources. It starts as young as when we're children, and they're imposed on us by our parents. A lot of times, this is why we have to be so careful today with our parenting, is that when our children make a mistake, we need to be careful how we handle that, because we don't want them to be under the illusion that they must be perfect in order to be worthy of praise. So from our parents, school, education, our peers, our social circles, media, especially social media, leaders, and overall society. Each has influenced you on how you think you should, there's the shoulding, gotta stop shoulding, on how they think you should look and feel and live your life. That's been imposed upon you. And up until today, guess what you've been doing? You have accepted, admired, and praised this. Up until today, because now your eyes are wide open. Here's the big problem with that. There's a big problem with that, if you already haven't realized it. You are measuring yourself up to something that you have not. decided to be true to you. You are measuring yourself up to something that you have not decided to be true to you. And this is what makes achievement and overall happiness impossible. The second one, the self-imposed protection, this is where Brené Brown really helps to tie it in. So if that doesn't get you, this will. She makes a point of saying that the areas where we struggle with perfectionism are the areas where we feel most vulnerable to shame. Where we feel most vulnerable to shame. Think about our bodies. What is all this body shaming and fat shaming? Now, this is like the new body acceptance. This is the area where we are most vulnerable to shame. So what do we do about it? Well, our desire is to avoid criticism. So we carry perfectionism around as a shield. She calls it a 20-ton shield to protect us when it's the very thing weighing us down and preventing us from taking flight. We hope that by carrying this shield of perfectionism, it'll prevent us from being hurt. It's a way of thinking that says, if I look perfect, I can avoid criticism, ridicule, and blame. I took a moment because I'm absorbing that myself. You guys, this is an enormous weight that you have put upon yourself. And maybe you didn't realize it until right now. This is why courage is the focus of this video series. I want to help you get through this. And this is just, I want you to know, we are just scratching the surface of what you can do with this information and begin to use it in your favor to transform you. That's what we dig into with the Fall Challenge, the Fall Courage Challenge. So it's important to understand that there's a difference between striving, because I talk about every day you want to get better, getting better, self-improvement, striving to be our best. There is a big difference between a healthy amount of striving and perfectionism. Healthy striving is internally focused, where we ask each day, what can I do to get better? What tiny tweak can I make today that makes me better than I was yesterday? How can I improve? How can I win the day? And I talk about win, what's important now? That's healthy striving. Being a perfectionist is externally focused. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with what will they think? What a shame it would be for you to not reach your full potential out of this silly little fear. What a shame that would be. But we're encouraging today. You're going to turn that around. So what can you do? I'm going to keep it really simple, because we're not going to spend all day on Facebook listen to Holly say don't spend all day on social media. You're going to listen to this, you're going to hop off, and you're going to take action. You're going to do something about this. You're going to come back and comment and make me very proud of you, because that shows that you listened and it had an impact on you. Then you're going to tell your friends, and you're going to say you got to get over there and you got to do this. It's powerful stuff. I want you to swap. I want you to trade perfect for performance. I want you to trade perfect for performance. Performance standards. Think about that. Performance standards have popped up in other areas of our life. We're not held up to this, you must be perfect. We have performance standards. These are simply a set of behaviors built around the expectations that you and you alone have for yourself. This is why I talk to you at great length, especially you club members, that this is all about everyday efforts. You first make the decision and the commitment to show up every day and give your best. That's your performance standard. Areas to think about: raising the standard, your health. Your health encompasses your nutrition, your workouts, your daily movement, your stress management, your sleep. Areas of performance also include your focus, your overall happiness and joy, your kindness. Are these things that you never thought of before? That if you actually put an effort in every day to raise the standards in these areas, you cannot tell me that if you put your effort, instead of wasting your time, energy, and self-esteem on trying to attain something that is unattainable, and you put it into these areas consistently, you can't tell me that nothing in your life will not change for the better. Did I do a double negative? Test me on it. Test me. And here's the deal, you can't bring any of that into your life unless you expect it, unless you demand it from yourself. And that comes from you, your core values, your priorities, what you deem is important now. No one else gets to decide. You do. So how do you know that these everyday efforts are working? What? We're gonna circle right on back to the Daily Journey Journal. You know that your everyday efforts are working when you're tracking and reflecting. At the end of every day, you are going to be able to look at your day and identify your wins, identify lessons learned, and have something to be grateful for. That's how you know that your everyday efforts are working, and you're no longer wasting your time, energy, and self-esteem on trying to be something that you're not. It is A-OK to be a work in progress. It is A-OK to be a work in progress. You are no less worthy of a person because of the way you look. You can choose to be happy now and have things you want to work on. Imagine how much more doable that path will become. I am not telling you, I'm not going to feed any delusional thoughts that you might be hanging on to that the struggle will be eliminated. The struggle will continue to be there, but you will have more courage and confidence in order to push through as you build your character and your strength to become the best version of you. And besides, a work in progress means you get there a little by a little, not all at once. All or nothing doesn't work. It's little by little. You are a work in progress. And get yourself focused on what you now know is going to move you forward. So your next courageous act is to remove that 20-ton shield. You are going to remove that armor so you can show up as you and take flight. You are going to trade perfect for performance. This is why you need to journal. And you're going to stop wasting your time, your energy, and your very precious self-esteem trying to live up to someone else's standards. The whole, what will they think? You know the quote? What they think is none of your business. To keep on encouraging. Each time you show up and focus on what's important now, focus on your performance, your everyday efforts, you build your brave. You strengthen your courage muscle. You've got this.